every time. I hope this is in time, right? Because every single time that I jump on this, hold on, I want to turn myself down a minute. Every single time that I jump on this stream, I've got this Will fella in chat that says exactly what I'm doing every single time. Hello, welcome, Cock, to a new live. I might do this for Championship as well. I might never do it again, depending on how well it goes. But the premise of this is going to be every week I just want to come in here and just chat. I just want to talk, realistically, about League One. It could be past stuff. More often than not, we are going to probably be previewing the weekend's games. Like, that is going to be the most important thing to do in it, realistically. But how are we, for a start? I also want to say a quick thank you to Match Bingo and OK Jersey, who are the two sponsors of the stream. This is from there. Seriously, they are replicas, obviously, but good nick. Like, actually good nick. I do think blue is my colour. Sadly, I love a Rangers top as well. But yeah, boys, how are we? First up, right, I need to get this up immediately. Sonny Glasby, I am sure this is Jimmy's mate, right? And if you're not going to pay me like you pay Jimmy to be mates with him, then get the hell out of here. So have that, bitch. Right. Should have kept Cosgrove grow up. Being an eventful international break, ain't it, Cal? Not, well, Jesus Christ. Right, in fact, actually, let me get this up because I'll just address this right now and then never again. We'll address this now and then never again because it doesn't need addressing. Whoever is on the side of thinking that this is like a good thing and people celebrating this, you just lost, mate, honestly. We'll just address this right now because I can't believe that this is the world that we live in. You know when the American World Cup got announced, right? A few years ago now, and it was years and years ago. I think I was at uni or college even when it got announced at the time. And me and my mates are like, oh my God, I literally can't wait to go and like go to this. We'll save up the year before, we'll definitely go. And now I'm in quite a good position and a fortunate one where if I wanted to, I could go to World Cup probably, and I don't want to go because that place is terrifying to me. That like, oh, someone says something that you disagree with, and then you get shot for it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That place is just. It's lost, mate. It's absolutely lost. But anyway, I'm not going to address that because this is a football place and not a political one. And I ain't a political guy. I don't have enough knowledge of genuine things to make a valid opinion on a lot of stuff. But if anybody thinks that shooting someone in face or in neck just because they said something that you don't disagree with is right, then please never, ever come up to me if you see me in real life. Because who knows? Oh my God, the things I've said. Bloody hell. What a joke. Anyway, Jordan, up the Donny, wrong. You know the worst part of being promoted to the Premier Callum Fowler doesn't talk about you much anymore. True, but that might be changing as well soon. There's sort of things in the pipeline, mate, that I can't really say a minute. But yeah, who knows? James, right, this is good. Let's just show an example of what this is going to be like. So we're going to pull comments up on screen, and it is literally going to be, we're just talking. I'm going to take a lot of chatty things and put them up on screen because the visuals, I'm not going to bring stuff up on side, like... What's the thing? I'm not going to bring up all the stats and stuff like that. It is literally going to be quite Jimmy. If anybody watches Blades Ramble, I don't know why you would if you're not a Sheffield United fan. To look at, to be fair, he's a good fella. You know what? Go and subscribe. I can't even say anything nasty about him because I love him. But yeah, it's going to be very community based as opposed to visually. So we're just going to waffle on this shit. Hold on. I'd have to be able to see my own chuffing thing for a start. That'd be quite nice. Where's your money this weekend, Bradford or Huddersfield? I have gone draw on the predictions video that I put out at 4 o'clock. It's quite a tough game, that, you know. It's obviously a big game, Bradford and Huddersfield, but I couldn't pick a winner, so I did go with a draw. I don't know whether... Do you think Huddersfield fans would take a draw? I doubt it, really. I think Bradford have been more the ones to take it, but maybe out of pure desperation after not playing him for so long, you're just desperate to beat your rivals, aren't you? So I actually don't know. I actually don't know who I think would take the draw, if anybody, but I do think it will be a draw because I can't pick a difference. Crazy Night, hello mate, got 5 minutes before I have to go get the sprog. Thought I'd say hi. Hey up mate, hope you're well. Will says, nah, I'm the same. I'm moving over to the US in March to do Masters and now lads, I'm doing it with for a bit money, but we want to be there for World Cup and it's paid for by uni. Oh, man, I've been doing it for... I'm not being funny. If the one, you know what, the one regret in my entire life, I wish I would have gone to America for uni. That is the only thing I regret. Because the standard of football on a scholarship or something, and I will not cracking. I was a good Sunday League footballer. That's it. I was training semi-pro and that at times. But like, my God, you could so easily go to America and get a scholarship and like that sort of life. I regret doing that. That's the only thing I've ever regretted in my entire existence. Not doing that. But if for someone like that, mate, go. Because I don't think there's nothing really phases me, like, in terms of everyone hadn't been on like live leak since they were a nipper. I'm not being funny. Since I turned, as soon as I ate double figures and we went up to secondary school, I was watching people get ripped to bits by tigers, like cartel videos. Everybody watched Two Girls, One Cup, or you know, all these different things that you see and you're exposed to at a young age. And none of it has ever phased me, ever. But that video yesterday, seriously, it proper. I was sat on train back and I'm like, what is this? What is this world? What is going on with this shit? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But yeah, I would go over there, mate, if I were you, definitely. No, but just be safe. Jesus Christ. West Bromwich Albion vlogs, my friend, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. 20 quid. You're in here every time, mate. I love you very much. Thank you so much again. What was your opinion on Ryan Mason? Is in a good job? Do you think he's got a future in the Premier League? Personally, I do, but that's just being biased, and I hope bound to get promoted because I want to go to your ground. Oh, you mean bound to get promoted? It's too early to say anything on Ryan Mason yet, innit, really? It's definitely too early to say. But I do think he'll be one of these. He's obviously been at an elite club, like the tactical side of things and the coaching setup and the infrastructure somewhere like that. You expect someone like that just to be good, like I expect in time Lee Grant to be good, and all these younger managers that are getting a better chance now. I do expect him to be good and have a future. I don't know if you could see him being in Premier League unless he takes West Brom up. I think he'd have to do something outstanding with West Brom to really be seen and nabbed from them. But do I see him in Premier League? I will say yeah, because I think inevitably West Brom in the next couple of years will get promoted, is what I would say, Mr. Vlogs. I think West Brom is inevitable. You will soon go up. Same as what I was saying about Sunderland for like 2 years. I think you are next in that sort of line of a bigger side that's making right steps now towards the inevitable. But thank you, Mr. Vlogs. I appreciate it very much. You are the man. Kiss. Love you very much. Legend. What the hell? Rangers are shite. Well, yeah, obviously, but I still like the kids. James, we spoke about Spanish lower leagues using a coach's review VAR system, and through experiencing it, I can unequivocally say it's shite. Fair. One thing I would say, you know, while we're just sat here now and talking about other things being introduced and that are happening in different countries, I would like to know people's thoughts on the EFL's proposal to, you know, take it to 8 teams. In fact, I've seen you. This is it. So they're on about increasing the playoffs from a 6 team to an 8 team. I think it's good. I am sort of at the stage where if it's not broke, don't fix it. And there's a lot of things in this country football-wise that are definitely broken. But I don't think the playoffs is one. I do think that the playoffs, and I can understand people's perspective on not wanting this, the playoffs is the last thing. Seriously, the pyramid itself is fantastic, but top of pyramid's just sort of sliced off and it's miles away now. It's untouchable. The pyramid itself is fantastic, and it's the reason that English football is so good. But the playoffs is outstanding. It is undoubtedly the best thing this country has to offer football-wise. Undoubtedly. So I can understand people not wanting to change it. Apparently it'll be championship, but then you'll think they'll just like do it down. Do you know what I mean? So I can understand. That's what I'm going to say. So I can understand people not wanting to change it. Personally, I am for it. That's just my opinion. I am for it, and I can see this on 2 completely separate spectrums here, right? Because obviously you just look at someone who's experienced this type of thing a lot, and you'd look at like yo-yo sides. Mate, I'm not being funny. Historically, we sat here with biggest one ever, Barnsley, and I can see it from 2 different perspectives. That in this league, Barnsley, every time we are in League One, Barnsley, the expectation is top 6 or bust. Like, why should we, even if it was strongest League One ever, in 3rd tier, as a Barnsley fan, I'm sat thinking we're definitely going to finish top 6. So, from my personal team's bias, if this were to be introduced, I wouldn't want it because of us in League One. And I'd think, well, we're going to finish top 6 anyway, so it's just another team that we're going to have to beat. Do you know what I mean? To be able to go up. And I don't want that. But then, on the other side of the coin, if we were in Championship and we won at smaller sides with a smaller budget, if we're obviously we got in Championship playoffs like 4 years ago, whatever it were, 5 years ago now. But I think it just gives smaller sides a little bit more of a chance. Me, personally. And I'm all for that. I'm all for keeping it exciting until last game. Because even though like last season there were a lot with relegation battle and stuff like that, I do think that a lot of dead rubber games do start popping up like 5 games left. And also, I'm just for the little man. Wait, seriously, everything. I think I'm just like the little man. Have I got a new mic? It sounds different. I've not. I've just turned the audio input down. I don't know if it's reset it. Hold on. No, it's still the right one. I just had to turn it down because it looked like it was so high. Why does it sound crap? So tell me if it sounds good or not. Can you just tell me quickly? Because I've not changed anything. I've just turned it down, so I don't think it's as tinny. It don't peak as high. It's just another money grab. Yeah, probably. It probably is. But like, I'm just all for it. It's an entertaining business, isn't it? That's what football is. And I think we've sort of, and maybe this is what's like corrupted my mind a little bit, because I'm watching Premier League and it's not entertaining even slightly anymore. It's so crap. So I'm just sort of thinking that has lost all its entertainment. Let's just spice Championship and EFL up even more. Even though I don't need it, because it is the best place to watch football, definitely. But I can understand both sides of the coin, but I would personally push for it, and I would agree that it'd be a good thing. Me personally. Right, let me get that one. Right. Hold on, I'm going to scroll all the way down. Joshua, manager at month. Also, I hope they don't change the playoffs. It's amazing how it is in its traditional way. That's fair enough. Manager at month in League One. I mean, you can't look past Cardiff's, can you, really? I don't think. Like, they've conceded 1 goal in 6 games. Oh, no, to be fair, we're in September now, aren't we? Oh, if it were August, let's get it defo Cardiff, the top of league. Like, end of. You know what I mean? For first month, I get you can take context into account and look at Stevenage and Donny and stuff like that. But Cardiff have slapped up 2 different sides. They annihilated Plymouth and Rotherham. They've conceded 1 goal, and it were a penalty in first game. You know what I mean? So, I think Cardiff's manager, undoubtedly, manager at month, personally. Player at month, probably Jamie Reid. You know what? I was thinking it might be a bit of a difficult question, but Jamie Reid, I would say, so far. I do think that Cardiff defender's been quite good as well, the young lad. And you could maybe look at a defender for some... Or even the keeper. Cardiff's keeper's been really busy, the new keeper that they brought in. But I would say Jamie Reid of Stevenage, the striker, who's got 5 goals, I think, in 6 games. And Cardiff's manager as manager at month is what I would say. And it is your mate. Happy birthday, my friend. In case I hope you have a good day. I do hope you have a good day. Right. It will reward finishing 3rd/4th more, so less likely to get coasters like Sunderland last season. True. That's true. That's a good point. Because again, I can just take it to our perspective before. When we got it Championship playoffs, we did it with 2 games left. We couldn't go any higher. I think we could have maybe finished 4th, and that were it. So then the last 2 games, we were rotating aside and just playing them out like it were nothing. And I think it takes that away as well. Also, I saw someone say on Twitter, and I don't know how true this is, but Italians and Serie B and C, I think they imposed this system. And if the team who finished 3rd, so in this case, it would have actually happened. I think if the team who finishes 3rd finishes X amount of points in front of 4th, then 3rd automatically goes up. I think that is how the Italians do it. So I think it's 14 points if I remember correctly. So last season, Sheffield United, for example, who finished 3rd by like a considerable distance in front of a lot of other teams, if they were so many points in front of Sunderland, the top 3 would have gone up, and then it would have just completely wiped out playoffs. So it's quite a different... It's a lot in it. It's a lot of change at once, and I think as football fans, we just don't like change generally anyway. But I would definitely welcome that idea, me. I would definitely welcome that idea. Thoughts on Steve Evans' weight loss? Thing is, he's not actually done anything, has he? He's not worked for it. He's just shooting up. He's just got needles up his ass. That's the only thing that Steve Evans has done. I'm surprised he's not scranning needles afterwards. I'm not impressed with that shit at all. Would you want relegation playoffs like Bundesliga? No. And my reason for that would be, you know, if people introduced the Premier League one, because it used to be this anyway, didn't it? I remember, well, I've said before, our Lass's family is Sheffield United, aren't they? And they said to me that this was going to be the 10th time that they've been in this playoffs and lost all 10. But there were another one even before that, and it were to get promoted. And I think before Premier League era, like I think it were 80s or very early, start at 90s. And I think Bristol City were in Premier time or something, or in top division at time. And they had that relegation battle then, and they even lost that one. So I don't want it, because I think, say if you're picking a team who finishes 18th in Premier League, and if like this season you're going to say, all right, well, it's going to be, I don't know, Sunderland or Leeds. And Sunderland and Leeds last season Well, let's make it easier. Let's say Leeds finish 18th, they finish third bottom, and we've got a relegation playoff. And Leeds were best side in the league last season by an absolute landslide. Another finished level on points with Burnley, but in terms of the games and how they went, Leeds were considerably the best team by some distance last season. They've strengthened. They've spent £100 million since, and they're going to go up against a team that like is in this playoff category. Say if they finish third. And let's just say that for example, this season ends up being, I don't know, Coventry. Leeds would wipe the floor. This current Leeds side would absolutely annihilate Coventry or whoever it is that could finish in there because they've got the Premier League money. And even if by some miracle, like a Wolves or a West Ham or somebody finish in bottom three, they would destroy any team in Championship. So instead of it being a big 17, it'd just be 1/3. It'd just be a big 18. There won't be a world where a Championship side would beat a Prem one. Like if you weigh it up consistently, it's just not happening. So, nah, I'm not one for the relegation ones personally. A boy being released from Blackpool, I saw that. I am sure they actually spent some decent brass on him as well. Maybe I'm mad, but I am sure that I saw some decent money spent on him. Right, CCFC. Don't know if people believe Cardiff haven't had a proper test yet. Luton away, arguably the hardest fixture in League, true, and not many teams will win with a clean sheet at Wimbledon away this season. Very true again. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Cardiff have, to be fair, you've had some very easy ones as well, like obviously Peterborough at home, Rotherham at home. Like they are easy games, you know what I mean? Well, to be fair, Port Vale are second bottom, and I don't think that's an easy game. But yeah, Cardiff have had some tough games. You're not referencing the League One vid that I've just posted, because I just used you as an example because you were top at league with that. But yeah, Cardiff had they've not had a very hard start. They've had some very hard fixtures, some of the hardest ones you can have, and come out around the other side. I do just slightly worry about you going away to certain grounds with such a young team, me personally. That's the only thing I would say about Cardiff, and the only thing that I would maybe bring them slightly back down to earth with across a full season. But yeah, I completely agree with you. You have had some hard games. Definitely. Do you think finishing third but missing out on autos and then losing it playoffs is equivalent to getting a deserving bronze medal in Olympics, but then again it's stolen? Let me read that again. Finishing third place but missing out on autos and then losing it playoffs is equivalent to get... Yeah, but you wouldn't want a bronze medal, would you really? Like, you know how, like, I'm just going like ego here, but like all footballers that used to get a runners-up medal and chuck it in bin, I don't think you'd be asked anyway, really, personally. Bradford away is hardest game for anyone. Disagree completely. No way. The hardest game, I think, would probably be Cardiff away. Just based on them so far. Like, Bradford have done well so far and they've come up from League Two. Yeah, definitely. But Cardiff have also got that same sort of aspect of it being a bigger ground, a bigger crowd. But Cardiff have just got considerably better players than Bradford have. And I think, you know what it is with Cardiff as well? I think they're just quite... Well, they are young, but I think they're quite fearless as well. And a lot of lads that they've brought through have just got like thinking, well, I've got no to lose here. I'm just like, this is a bit of a kickabout for me. Their academy's at a good level, and I think they're all coming through, or a lot of them are coming through as Cardiff fans themselves. I think Cardiff away is the hardest game, me personally. And Dan thinks that the Cardiff bubble will burst. So do I, but I think it might only deflate, not burst. They'll definitely be top six where they've started now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they get top two personally, but that's just because I'm biased to Barnsley. Luton and Barnsley for me, top two. Hold on. More Cardiff. Cardiff very good against Wimbledon. Some of the players took the piss despite it being a deflected 1-0 winner. It should have been more. Do you think? To be fair, well, obviously when I'm assuming if you're are you Wimbledon boy? Whichever one you are. Wimbledon are a good side, so it's not an easy place at all to go there and win. Like I saw Barnsley go there and struggle from the defensive point of view. We did, to be fair, we did create a lot, and I think we were like marginally unlucky, like hit it post, and then it just like bobbling slightly behind somebody for a tap in and stuff like that. But Wimbledon, like if you're saying that Cardiff were very good against Wimbledon. To be fair, it's just because the games that I've seen from them, like obviously you're getting better as you've gone along. Cardiff, like undoubtedly, you can't even argue it, can you? Really, that you are getting better game by game. And the games that I watched were the Peterborough one at start, which were easily better side, but Peterborough dog shit, so I'm just not even taking that into account really. And then the Port Vale one away, which is probably the worst game that Cardiff have had, in fairness. And I think Port Vale was so unlucky to not win. But it's hard for me to change my vision on you based on the games that I've actually seen. Do you know what I mean? Once you're next on Sky or when we play, I'll have a better gauge of what you are. Cardiff. But yeah. Clash shirt, brother. Okay, jersey, link in description. I think they're about 20 quid each. Like, I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not even bothered if this like damages my reputation with the brand. I'm gonna speak to my people first because I won't promote some shit. I wouldn't recommend, like, don't go and get a Barnsley top or a Cardiff top or a Blackpool top. Because I just think that's like, you know, against your smaller teams, you want to put money into your club, don't you? But if you're a Man United fan and you're getting charged 150 quid for a top, brother, get on that link in description. If you're on a retro vibe, that's what I'm on, then there's okay jersey in the description. Personally. That's just my humble opinion. You know what I mean? Bailey, what do you think Barnsley's chances are on winning league? Very small because I think Luton are just truly that good. But I do think we will finish second. Not gonna lie. If Barnsley were to actually get promoted, don't you think you'd just instantly get relegated back down with lack of investment from your owner? I actually don't know. I don't know what I think about us anymore, like his ownership. Well, I know he's a tool. And I just think like the signings that we have made are so good. It's like, just imagine if we actually put some money behind us. And as owners previously spoken before, like we've sustained ourselves this season, I think. And that's without selling anybody. We've released a lot of players that were all crap. So maybe if we got promoted, we'd have to sell one decent. We'd have to make a couple million quid on sales a year. But if in turn that meant that we spent even a couple £1 million a year, because obviously when you get promoted, you get more money, don't you, from the TV revenue? But your wages are all like your wages are going up 50% at least. So you've got that. You've got to inflate for that as well. So if we go up and we spend like £2 million a year or something, which is not these days, I don't know. It's tough. I just think we're lucky that the players that we've got, I think, could easily make that transition. Is what I would say. I think like Connell, Phillips, done. If we got like Vickers, Cooper back on loan, they could easily make that transition to Championship easily. So I don't think we'd be a million miles off staying up anyway. I just think we'd need to really throw a lot at defence. Just depends, doesn't it? It's all if buts and maybes, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just if buts and maybes. Trace, Luton opponent, our supporters. How can you say that, man? Let me get that up. Hold on. I'm just looking at the game when you played Burton. You had more expected goals by a mile, similar possession, 12 shots, 6 shots on target, only 2 big chances but 3 goals. What you think is sort of masking it a little bit? Is that what you're saying? You think it's masking your performances a little bit, the results? Because obviously you have lost 2 games, to be fair, to Cardiff at home and Bradford away. I just think Luton just look miles better to me than most sides. Maybe that is just me being a bit slack and going for easy option and easy thing to say, but I think Luton look really good from what I've seen. That's a good question. Joe Abbey, how many points do you reckon it'll take to get autos this season? What did Wrexham get last year? Like 92? Something like that? I think you're probably starting with 9. Because you know what it is? There's a lot of half decent sides, so I don't think I don't think Luton are going to run away with like 100 points. You know what I mean? Even though they probably should, I don't think they will. I just think I think there'll be a clear top 4 or 5, say. Or maybe even the full top 6 just sort of pulls away. I don't know. It's so hard. It is actually just so hard. I probably think you're looking at very, very high 80s, like probably 88, 89, or going into 90s. Because it's tough to think, because I'm trying to weigh it up in my head. Which of these scenarios I actually think it'll be, where if there's either a top 6 that pulls away, or if there's 8 teams fighting for 2 places on the last couple of games. So obviously that's going to bring points tally down a little bit, innit? But I do think there's a clear difference between bottom 6, for example, to your better sides. I think it's clearer to find the crap sides, I think, in this league this time than it is the top ones, I would say. Is my prediction. 80, what for autos? Come on, Josh. Come on, Josh. William, is Urian a tactical genius or just vibes? I think he's tactically very switched on. We've changed effectively the full style that we play. In space a couple months, we've just changed everything. We're going from playing a 3/5 at back to now playing wingers. but we also transition into a free at back with his right back coming in, a centre mid goes to right mid. We've got a left back that's stood on left wing, and two strikers, but neither of them actually a striker, and they're both number 10s. So we're just all over the place, and we're scoring shitloads of goals. I think he's very tactically switched on. I just hope. Thing is, I think because he's not a Barnsley man, is he? But obviously spent a long time here as a player, and now coming back as a coach. Well, come back as a player, then a coach, then an assistant, then a manager. I think he's got a connection to this place that he won't just leave at first chance. I hope that's the case anyway, because I think he's sort of our Wilder, Urian. I think he's our Wilder. And I don't mean that in terms of we're just going to sack him and then get him back in 8 times. I mean, like, I think we could be able to sort of keep him at the expense of him going somewhere else for a little bit more money just because of what he means to us here and what we mean to him. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? But I think he's really good. I just hope he don't leave really quickly. Hold on, let me get that one up. I like this channel because I like the positivity of Callum. Some fans don't have that. They're just negative. I don't think this channel is biased. Barnes have a good chance of going up as well. Good man. PVFC life, and you started really good. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of people in this sort of industry who just like... It goes without saying, doesn't it? Some people just like the team to do crap so that they can cash in on it. And personally, I would never make a penny off Barnsley ever again if it meant that we were half decent. I don't want to speak about Barnsley because more often than not it means that we're doing well. So I'm very happy with how we're going, but some people are just weird, man. Right, some people are just seriously like weirdos. Might I put a 5 on Barnsley winning league? Don't think he's gained it back. If you put each way on, mate, who knows? You got a decent chance there. Nate is your mate. I always think about this that John will come back, and I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right. Just having a look at some of the other stuff. Green Army, Fairs. Oh, this is good. I love you for a stat, mate. These are the points tallies for second place teams in League One in the last 7 seasons. Full seasons only, not including COVID. 92, 92. 98 for second place. What year was that? Am I going crazy? What year was that? Anyway, 92, 92. I think Barnsley got 92 in the year we finished second behind Luton. I'm sure we got 92. 98, 90, 87, 91, 96. So you've got to start with a 9 then, really, to have a chance at second. It's a tough league, this. Seriously, it's a tough league. You've got to win like most weeks. You can't even draw. You've got to win a lot of games. If you want to chat, you've got to win like 25 games, haven't you? To have a good shot at being in there. Crazy. Ipswich. Oh, yeah, good point. Good point. Great point, even. Mason says some Luton fans are being negative for the sake of it. We've signed 14 players and it takes time for players to gel. Yeah, I agree. What, are you actually not playing that well, then? Am I just missing out on something with Luton here? Don't get me wrong, I don't think you were even good in first game that you won. But that's the only 90 that I've watched of Luton, so I've not got loads to go off yet. I just think, for the highlights and stats, and it does only show you, like, you can paint any narrative you want with stats, can't you, realistically? But you look good. Do you know what I mean? You look quite good. So I'm not sure what people are seeing there. Hold on, I'm just scrolling through some other ones, just seeing what people think. This is going to be like quite a snappy one, normally. This is going to be quite a snappy live, but I'm quite enjoying this, so I'm going to go for a little bit longer. Because I was planning on coming on and doing for like half an hour, but I'm going to carry on because I'm really enjoying it. Another Cardiff man, Ruben Cole by far the best player in the division, been using him wrong for years, don't know, he's ended up in League One. He is good, but to say by far the best is, I think that's a slightly rogue, saying that he's by far the best. Because if we look at what Ruben Colwell's job is, and I know stats don't paint the full picture ever, but obviously as a number 10, which he is in here, if I'm not wrong here, like as a number 10, your job is to create and score goals in it. He's got 3 goals and an assist, to be fair, so he's 4 goal contributions in 6 games. Ain't bad at all. But you look at like the players in a similar position. Like Adam Phillips, for example, his job is effectively the same thing. He's really good, and he's got a goal and 2 assists as well. DKD, obviously, is definitely one of the best players in the division. What else would we even look at, really? Like, play, you know what? Even though he's knocking on a little bit, someone like Norwood at Stockport is a very good player. I'm assuming you think that he's Cardiff's best then. I would assume. There's a lot. You know what? There's a lot of good players in this division, and I just think normally I think players just wouldn't last this long here. Obviously, someone like the Bolton and Barnsley lads, because we've been crap for years now, but some of the Bolton and Barnsley players that are just really good and still sat here in League One, it's surprising to me. Like, it is really, really surprising that we've still just got these guys in this league, because normally the better ones would just leave, wouldn't they? Unless you come down in such a state like Cardiff did, that like nobody's really going to want to pick up your players because they've proved that they're all shit in comparison to Championship. Obviously, that is not the case, and you've got some outstanding players like Colwell for this division. But yeah, normally I feel like lads just leave immediately, and they don't want to start a fight and get them sent back up. That is one thing that Cardiff have definitely got on the side. Dr. Bogner, thank you, my friend, for the 3 months. Enjoy the John kiss. Very, very kind of you. 3rd of April, you lot coming to Pirelli. I best see you there, fella. I'm not forgetting that pint to you. Up the Brewers all the way to League 2 kiss. Now you'll be all right, I think. I think you might drive it quite close this time, but you should be okay. If I go to Pirelli again, I think it'll be my 4th time going. Ugh, God. Burton. No disrespect, mate, but oh my God, get me out of this league. You know what I'm saying? Get me out of this league. Holy shit. But thank you for the 3 months, my friend. Very kind of you. Kiss. You are the man. Luton are great at bat, but we seriously lack a creative midfielder. I really hope Al Hamadi hits the ground running, as he has been hit and miss up front for the first few games. I think he's been hit and miss up front just since he left Wimbledon in general. And you know what? I agree with you, Dan. Just based on the bits that I saw of Luton last year as well. Because last season it were like, you lost Barkley, didn't you? Which were inevitable because we're never going to play in Championship. But you lost Barkley and then sort of never replaced him. You replaced him too late in terms of bringing Asgard in January. And I think if you'd have got Asgard in summer, you'd have probably stayed up. But you got Asgard in January, who's now gone, and you've sort of not replaced Asgard. So I think, well, obviously you come in for Adam Phillips at Barnsley and DKD at Barnsley. So you come in for both. You obviously got neither, but it means that you're aware of that position and that you needed to sort of address it, but you've left it so late again. And I think maybe if Luton aren't to go up somehow, then it will be due to lack of a very creative midfielder. And especially in this league, you get a lot more time up ball than you do obviously in divisions above. I think you could just... Barnsley have dominated a lot of the games so far, and we've just got all ball all the time. I think if you've got some like older heads or some experienced lads at middle at Park, then it's such a difference maker. Such a big difference maker. And if they're not to go up, I think that is the reason why for you. But you'll probably address it in Jan. So if you're in and around it, Dan, in like November, December, if you're still in and around like top 3 or 4, with the money that you've got, you'll chuck some stupid brass at it in Jan. You should be fine, but I understand what you're saying. Jacob says, think Grant, who's Huddersfield manager, is reaching a point where he's decided his best 11. Okay. Posh match, open his eyes to how lax the team can be at starter matches. Attack will score goals, just need to sort the defence. See, maybe I've got a flawed view on this as well, because the only 90th senior player is against Barnsley. But I just think you're lacking some legs in middle of part, me. Like, and it's definitely one of the stronger midfields in the league. But you know what it is? Wait, if you finish in playoffs, I would not buy you to win it at all. Because I think if you're coming up against another top side, like Barnsley or Bolton or Cardiff, just looking at table, or a Cardiff or a Luton, I think all these teams would just run you ragged in middle of park. I think that's where you're losing your way a little bit. Obviously, you've won 5 games and lost 2, so you've obviously started really good. But I think that's where you're losing your way and not consistently dominating all your games. Because against better sides that have got better midfielders than you, you just don't know what to do then. I feel like Huddersfield don't really know what to do when they're not dominating all at ball. Is the point that I'm trying to get across. You're obviously a top side and you'll be top 6 definitely. But yeah, I think Huddersfield are definitely flawed in certain areas, you know. I really do. Albion Suffage says Karoma 3 goals, 4 assists at Orient so far. Is that actually right? No way. Oh my! Oh, it's 3 and 2, you shitbag. Unless you're on about all comps, because just in league, Karoma has got 3 goals and 2 assists. I'm not overly surprised, really. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's not a good player, because Barnsley were linked with him all winter. He were in the ground at Oakwell. He had everything done, and then his agent went, oh, hold on a minute, we'll get you down to London instead for 300 quid more a week to then pay twice as much on your rent. But anyway, don't matter, we've got Didsy, not asked. You know what I'm saying? Pfft, give him monkeys. Type shit. Yeah, he's obviously a very good player. A very, very good player. Like, let's not kid ourselves. He is one of the best wingers in this division. He was Huddersfield's top goal scorer last season, and they're all saying that he's crap. But I swear down, they will be in a much better position with someone like him if he was still in your ranks. Obviously, he's on a lot of money, and Huddersfield thought he's not worth this money when we can get all these other lads in, which is probably fair enough. And obviously, from Leighton Orris' perspective, you can get this standout. It's a proper coup, innit? It's like a very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Statement. It's a very statement signing for Leighton Orient to go and get someone like that. But I think if he were at Huddersfield, he offers you something different, and you could have maybe got something from Barnsley if you had someone like that, someone that can offer something different. Because going back to Huddersfield, very one-dimensional in how they can play. I don't think there's a lot of change there with the type of players that they've got, personally. But yeah, Karuma's a very good player for this division. Very, very good. That's crazy. Terrier930 says, we won't even make playoffs, to be honest. Agree, our midfield is static. You will definitely make playoffs. We're saying this, by the way, and we're being quite critical of Huddersfield, but the third in league. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not static. You're not 15 from, we're like, oh yeah, there's actually, like, they're not picking points up. You're not even playing that good, and you're third. So there's no harm in something like that, mate. Absolutely no harm in starting as well as that. Your strikers are very good. Very, very good. And what I said at time after the game, I think I said it before the game, but more after I actually watched you against us and I could understand more what people were saying. You didn't have a lot of options that were different to the ones that were on pitch. So once you're losing 3-0 to Barnsley and you've still got same fast, tricky striker on pitch that can't even get a sniff of touching ball anyway, you want to think, well, where's our Sam Cosgrove? Where's Esky? Where's Crouchy? Where's these big lumps that we can just knock ball up to and play off flick-ons? And I don't think Huddersfield have that. Maybe you do now because you brought that fella in from, is it Palace? And I don't know who that is, but apparently people are saying he's that sort of profile. That's the word. I think you're missing different types of profiles, Huddersfield. That is what I would say about you. But you will definitely get playoffs, mate. Because against a lot of, like, scruffs of this league, you'll be fine and you'll just win loads of games. Especially at home, there's not many that'll come to your place and get anything. A lot of bottom sides, they'll just lose every time they come to you. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Well, Alva's better than Kuroma. We've upgraded on him. Not seen anything of him yet, apart from that tapping, so I've got no comment, to be honest with you. I've got absolutely no comment to make. Agents nowadays, I swear down, want more than play. Not probably. That wouldn't surprise me either. Oliver, yes, mate, I'm absolutely fine. How are you, my brother? How are you? And then James said McGuane still starting for Town, yet strongest midfield for Huddersfield is Ledson and McGuane. It's hard, isn't it? You've got a lot of players, Huddersfield, and even with trimming down your squad, you've still got a lot of people in a squad that you've got to make happy. And to be fair, it's like, obviously you'll have had your game cancelled with international, weren't you? I'm assuming, Huddersfield. I can't even remember. I think you did. In fact, you did. Oh, did you? No, you didn't, did you? No, but Peterborough 3-2. Anyway, once it gets to playing Papa John's and stuff like that, then you can rotate lads and sort of make them a bit happier. But no, like, seasoned pros going to want to go and play in Papa John's. They're all going to think, fuck that, I want to just sit at home. I think he's got a bit of a job on his hands trying to keep all your players happy because you've got a big squad, Huddersfield. Same as Luton. I think them two have got a problem that a lot of other teams don't have. Huddersfield and Luton's squad are just that big. And Bolton, to be fair, Middle at Park, Bolton have got a lot of players. Whereas, like, other sides that have got much smaller squads, but have got quality and players that can play multiple positions, and I'll just use the examples Barnsley, Cardiff, I don't think they will have the problem of a dressing room problem potentially kicking off. Whereas I could maybe see that. If I'm to be really nitpicky and just gaslight you all into thinking that anything could happen, I could see that being something that maybe crops up with someone like Huddersfield. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Well, now Warren Colony is in the 10 and Dan Ballard is up front for all in. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Leighton Orient do look good going forward. That's a given anyway, innit? You've conceded 12 goals, that's the problem. But Dan Ballard, No, not it's Don Ballard, isn't it? Dan's Sunderland. Don Ballard, Aaron Connolly, Karoma. Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll be all right going forward, mate. You'll be absolutely fine. Ledson were garbage against Peterborough. See, I think Ledson's... Ledson needs other players around him, though, because Ledson's job, or what he's best at, is doing extremely simple things very well. So, getting ball and passing it 15 yard. Not getting ball and taking it past 5 lads, or playing a 70-yard ball, or like dribbling past 10 people, scoring a screamer. It's a very simple player that sort of makes things tick if he's got other profiles of midfielders around him. But Ledson has not got that, because a lot of Huddersfield's midfielders are samey. Is my perspective on you. Mate, I'm alright refusing to go watch us play Wickham this weekend. 1 draw in 8. It can't keep going on like this, can it? It can. It can. You know what? I actually watched the Mick McCarthy pod on Underkosh other day. It was a 2-part thing. It was 3 hours worth. And I would have sat there like, I didn't even blink once. I was loving it. It was so good to watch that. And on about time, because obviously you're red in it. Ah, Mick. Flip down. What a boy. What a boy. Right, last couple, then I'm going. Because I have to go to our lasses. We're in process of buying a house, lads, so it's like everything's just all over the place in my life. It's just a bit crazy. Posh Zach, thank you for the 5, my brother. Hi, mate, full stop. No brain injury this week. Dash, good news, full stop. Reds also staying down. All love, up the Posh kiss. Well, you know what? Good. Let's just say that. I'm not even going to rip shit out of you this week for once. Good. No brain injury. Happy days. We're still up. Bigger things than football, isn't there, mate? At least you're not... Well, you're going down, but at least you're still up. Hype in the chat, baby. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it very much. Kiss. Love you. You're the man. Actually the man. Right. I actually think that's going to be it. We've been going for 40 minutes, waffling. Like, there's not even been anything to actually speak about, really. We've touched on Cardiff and Huddersfield quite a lot. Odd bit on Barnsley and Reading, and then the overwhelming things that's been happening in the last couple of days. But yeah, what do you think of something like this? Just like a bit of a chat, as opposed to some very highly structured thing. Can obviously come in with certain points ready, like the championship thing that's been, like the changes to playoffs that's been proposed. We can come in with stuff like that. But what do you actually reckon to just something like this? Just a little chat for League One, or I could just do it as like EFL chat. I might do that. Because if I do another one, I'm going to end up doing like 6 lives a week and it'll just get a bit ridiculous. So maybe I do like just EFL chat generally and do something like that. Maybe that's the one. That could be the one. Yeah, well, you know what? I quite like that idea. Just EFL chat. But then we'll do what we do always and we'll just ignore League 2 sides. Because who cares, really? And we'll just stick to League 1 at Championship. But boys and girls, I appreciate you very much. Thank you again, Zach. Love you all. Case, make sure you like, subscribe, check out OK Jersey and Match Bingo. The links are top of the description. And this fella's here. We're only Blue Case is reserved for the games. Also, speaking of, I'll just like give a quick tease for everybody that's in here. On lives, I can give 2 away shirts a week away. Oh, not 2 away shirts. I think I can give 2 shirts from this side, the OK Jersey side, away. So at halftime tomorrow, we'll do a thing where if you win the quiz or you finish top 3 in quiz, it can be a thing of, well, you either get a decision of, I'll give you like effectively the 15 quid to go and gamble with, or you can have a shirt. So we'll play one of them games. Love you all. In case, make sure you like, subscribe if you do enjoy, and I will see you in a bit. I will see you tomorrow for that live. Bye.